right, let's see if we've got some computer screen and some vocals or audio or video or who knows. All right, waiting. Come on, computer. At least it didn't say I'm another 15 minutes till I start again, like they like to do. Finley says 5 by 5. Jacob. Here comes my computer. And Lucky Dame and Undercover and Old Man and Robert. And all right, as per normal, we've got uh, computer working, so that's good. Okay, so been an interesting 24 hours around here. Latest unexpected for us. Maybe any of you, if somebody's a vet or something, can figure this one out. Y'all know that my one dog, my blind dog, uh, has his issues. And all of a sudden, he's losing hair in clumps. You'd almost think he had mange or something like that, but he doesn't. And this goes on and off with him, so we deal with that. But we had made an appointment because it was getting worse, so we went to the doctor yesterday afternoon, the vet. On Sunday it got real weird because, well, he's blind. We kind of treat the house like Helen Keller. We don't rearrange the furniture, so he knows his way around the house, he knows his way around the yard. All of a sudden he's completely disoriented. We can't figure out, you call him and he hears you and then goes the other way, like he doesn't know where to, running into walls and doing this. So we take him to the vet yesterday and they do a whole senior panel on him and run the blood tests and stool tests and everything like that, and everything's fine. I mean, thyroid and electrolytes, and his whole blood panel came back good. So now we're treating it. I mean, this has been going on for 5 years. So now we did find out that he's got a skin infection, so we're treating that. But we're trying to figure out what's going on with hearing and his disorientation. And so one step at a time. But it's like now the concern is, does he have Cushing's disease, which is, from my understanding, an inner ear nerve or whatever that affects your sense of direction and everything like that. So yeah, so that's been the fun around here. So you wonder what I've been doing. It's taking care of a pup. You know me and animals. So there's nothing I won't do. I'll not eat before he doesn't get taken care of. So that's just how I do things. Today, so we're now hearing 5,400 emails, right? Under Joe's pseudonym, including Tunner being copied on White House emails about political meetings with Poroshenko or something. It's like, really? So remind me again what political office or cabinet position that Hunter holds. It's funny, you see all these Trump indictments and everything like that, on Adam Schiff's "I've seen the evidence," right? Of course, nobody else ever has, and he could never provide it. We've got all this freaking evidence against Joe, and nothing's done. Now, granted, the House is on recess. Of course, everybody in Washington takes vacations. Joe took 2/3 of August off. I mean, hey, Maui on fire, or, a hurricane down in Florida, hey, illegals, crime, whatever it would be. But, Joe's eating ice cream, sniffing kids, and laying on the beach, because that's what we pay him for, right? So, yeah. So, there's the lovely today. It was pretty, with the exception of the jobs numbers that I told you guys, it was actually a relatively slow day for what was going on in the news. I got a real interesting video that I'm going to give you guys in the morning about standing up and about how you might want to pay attention a little closer to home than just Washington, from both parties, because they're both trying to screw us. Okay. And I'll get into all the details on that tomorrow. I mean, if we go here, I'm going to spend 20 minutes talking about it here. We'll never get into what we do. So, but just a little heads up. This is one, especially all of y'all in Tennessee like me, you might want to pay attention to it because this happened here, you know, Ruby Red, Tennessee, and they're trying, and not Nashville, and not Memphis, and not Knoxville. This is out in the woods, and they're trying to take over your livelihood. Just saying. Coming to a town near you. All right, so let's get into our Q&A. As per normal, guys, if you got a question for me, please put it in all caps. Makes it easier for me to go through the chat. Feel free to have comments. I totally encourage you guys to have commentary between yourselves, answer questions, get whatever, talk about whatever, however you want to do it. But pay attention to the chat room because there's a lot of times your questions may get a better answer from somebody else than they get from me. I don't have all the answers. Okay. Nowhere close. Got some, but not all of them. But as per rules, as always, keep it civil, guys. You know, we're here for fellowship, camaraderie. You know, we're not here to insult each other, belittle each other, pick on each other. So if you want to do that, go somewhere else. It ain't going to be tolerated here. Never has been, never will. We just toss those people on their ass. They're never heard from again. So, okay, let us get to the top here and we will see what is going on. Okay, there's the 5x5. Here we go. All right, Scott McHugh. They're telling my daughter in Tampa to be at work tomorrow for now. DDAD says don't go. All right, so interesting. From when I posted, I think it was on Sunday that it was coming up. They've actually moved the cone up. It's more into the Panhandle, the Big Bend there, than Tampa. Tampa's going to be on the southeast side of the storm, which is usually which gets the worst winds and rain and everything like that. I'd be interested to see who's telling her to go to work because my first response would be it, and I don't know the counties in Florida, so I can't tell you, but there's a state of emergency in Florida where they're telling people to stay off the roads. They're telling people to evacuate. And my answer, if I was your daughter, I don't care if she's still at home, I'm sorry, I was told to evacuate. I'm 200 miles away. Wherever she is. Okay. No. Which of course brings up a point, guys. Say a prayer for the folks in Florida. This hurricane is supposed to hit them hard in the early morning tomorrow. And, you know, nighttime storms are 10 times worse than daytime storms. Not weather, but because you can't see what's going on, you know. So the exact same storm day or night, but nighttime is a lot more threatening because you don't have any sort of visual understanding of what's in front of you. Okay, rolling on down here. Rolling on down quite a way. Mountaintop Preps. How many fish do I have in? You know this. You've been over here to see them. We put in 100 bluegill sunfish and 25 red ears. So that was the extent of what we got. Let's see. But yes, I know what your point is. Suburban Hillbilly. I had a dog with Cushing's. They should test him for that. Yeah. So what they're going to do with Copper, we're going to go through these antibiotics for 3 weeks. We're going to try to get rid of the infection because he's got a skin infection. He's got it on his butt and he's got it in his ear. So crazy. So the doc wants to get rid of the infection first, and then we are going to test him for Cushing's. So that's going to be next. Nolan Hines, love my dog Chubbs. Yeah, I get, from all the responses I get yesterday, I get a feeling there's a lot of you guys like me that, you know, I don't care what else is, you know, the dog gets taken care of before the people get taken care of. You know, they rely 100% on us. They can't tell us they're hurt. They can't tell us they're hungry. I mean, verbally. I mean, they can kind of give you an idea, but it's one of the responsibilities of being a pet owner. Okay, if you can't take care of the dog or cat or gerbil or snake or whatever you got, don't get one. Okay, Prepper place with Shauna, prayers for the puppy. Thank you. Appreciate that. Judy Boer. Joe has been on vacation since day one. Joe's been on vacation since 1972. Okay. His brain's got an out to lunch sign on it. Will return in 2,500. Not hours, because there's only 2,400. That's what year his brain's going to come back. By then, he will be nice and warm and toasty in hell. Debs, thank you for Copper's prayers too. I appreciate that. Let's see. Iron shapings iron. Okay, I'm thinking. Boycott teachers union, boycott Hollywood forever, boycott public schools. Yeah, you see, there was an interesting story, if you caught this one this afternoon in California. A woman won $100,000 against, I don't remember what city it was, but it was in California, against the local school system because the school was convincing her daughter to transition without telling the mother. And the girl was like 11 or 12, something like this. And so the girl had come to school and, they'd call her Bob or whatever it would be. And then she'd go home and she'd be Julie or whatever her name was. Well, the woman finally found out and sued the school district and won $100,000. Okay. Which is good, but it's also very bad because the people that pay that settlement aren't the administration, aren't the teachers, aren't the principal, it's the taxpayers. The taxpayers get to foot that bill. When I start seeing these lawsuits come down and the teacher and the administrator and the principal are stuck, you pay 25 grand and you pay 25 grand and you pay 25 grand and you pay 25 grand, then we'll get somewhere. But right now, yeah, the kid's got 100 grand, college is half paid for. And the taxpayers are done stuck footing the bill. Are the teachers and the administrators, did they learn anything about this? No, they don't care. They'll just go right on along doing the next one. Hey, if the school district, if we got caught, okay, the taxpayers will pay. We're going to keep doing it though. Who cares if the taxpayers got to pay again? Okay. That's the problem. And again, that is communism in a nutshell. There is no personal responsibility. They are responsible for their actions and somebody else has to pay for it. What does that sound like? I don't know. Student loan forgiveness? I'm responsible for signing the note. Somebody else got to pay the bill though. That's pretty much Joe's idea. It's somebody else will pay for it. Ukraine? Hi, I'm Volodymyr Zelensky. We'll have elections if somebody else pays for it. You guys seeing this? Again, I quote Margaret Thatcher all the time. The problem with socialism is eventually you run out of other people's money. Okay. Up north, when you can your borscht, do you find it loses a lot of the deep red color? Yes. It will turn more pinkish. Like when we can beets. Okay, you know how beets have that dark, like dried blood color to them? When we can them, it's almost a rose red, like a rosé wine or something, that it comes up as the color. Yes. You'll notice that with a lot of things. When you can something, it changes color. I mean, even doing carrots that are bright orange, they'll turn a little more pale orange, or tomatoes turn a little bit more pinkish than that bright red. Again, remember how we are canning versus how Del Monte or something is canning, okay? There's a difference between us pressure canning and them pressure canning. We're not vacuum sealing and doing all this with our pressure canning. It's a different kind of pressure. Think about you're putting something in a can versus something with a jar and a lid, okay? There's a little different way of doing it. They can save the color better than we can, but the other thing is how much preservatives are they putting in that can to preserve the color? They've got to remember, a grocery store or a food company has to make things pretty, otherwise you won't buy them. Okay, you're not going to go buy carrots that are forked or something. You don't buy those. They eat fine, okay, but they don't go on the grocery store shelves. So they select them, they GMO them, do whatever, add chemicals to them to make them look pretty. You know, forked carrot, a pink beet. Mine don't have any preservatives in them. They're healthier than the stuff I get in a can. Gigi, yep, both parties are two wings from the same bird. Been saying this all along. Yeah, I'll get into that tomorrow. I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I mean, there is no Republican Party anymore. All right, you have there's four: communists, Democrats, which are dwindling to next to nobody, rhinos, and conservatives. Those are your four parties, and the communists and the Democrats lump under one flag, and the rhinos and the conservatives lump under the other one because it's about money. All right, you know, Cornel West running for president, and the Democrats are afraid he's going to siphon votes from them. Go back to Ross Perot and why George Bush lost to Bill Clinton, because Perot siphoned votes off of George Bush. Not that I was going to vote for George Bush anyway, but I wasn't going to vote for Bill Clinton, that was for sure. Okay. You know, this is the thing. What is it? The No Labels Party. That is what Joe Lieberman and Joe Manchin and some of these more moderate Democrats that have been abandoned by the Democrat Party, the liberals are afraid of. I mean, Bernie Sanders has taken over the left, and Donald Trump has taken over the right. I mean, if you want to talk about the two faces of each party, those are them, okay? And you have those rhinos and moderate liberals that are kind of playing the game, you know, which way's the wind blow? And, you know, that's who we'll start getting behind. I mean, how many times has Joe Manchin said, I'm going to leave the Democrat Party, I'm going to leave the Democrat Party, and he never does, right? Okay. Barb Wells, how are my carrots? Harvested about 3 weeks ago or something. They are all cooked up, canned up, eaten, whatever, some processed. They're all long since gone. They did better than I've done before, but they still weren't that good. Marie Schoen, Pinball, what does 5x5 mean? Loud and clear. Okay, so you can hear me and you can see me. Grit and Grace, did they test Copper for Lyme disease? That he doesn't have the symptoms of Lyme disease whatsoever, so we're okay on that. But where I thought it was going to be, because he had a thyroid problem in the past, and I thought that was what it was going to be. And so when they did the whole panel, I mean, I had him do everything, and his thyroid came back normal. I'm like, that's amazing, because a year ago we had to put him on thyroid meds, and we eventually took him off of thyroid meds, and his thyroid's still fine. So we're trying to figure this out. But I mean, this is the third vet, you know, because we had one in Vegas, one here, and now we've got a different doctor in the same practice here. And everybody's stumped. Okay. Now remember, you guys know how he went blind. That happened from a Monday to Friday. He was fine on Monday, he was blind on Friday. And nobody, even a canine optometrist, could figure out what was wrong. We took him in, got him checked out, and they're like, we have no idea what happened. His optic nerves just exploded. So I've had dogs with issues before. I mean, I had a Sheltie when I was a kid die of cancer at 2.5. My Sheltie, when I was probably in my 30s, had something called collie nose. If you ever figured out ever had a breeding dog, it's a disease that they can get. That was an interesting story. The dog was doing this, losing the hair on the tips of her ears and the tip of her tail and on her nose. And she was just a pup. And so I took her to the vet, and, you know, family vet that my family have been going to for 30 years. This was in Chicago. And he's like, trying to figure it out. He goes, you know, I just put the dog down. I'm like, no, that ain't happening. Okay. So I wound up, for those of you guys that live in Chicago, you'll probably know this. So I took the pup to Berwyn Animal Hospital, and we actually brought somebody down from University of Wisconsin School of Veterinary Medicine. And Doc looked at her and said, I'll bet she has collie nose. I'm like, what the hell is collie nose? I mean, this was the third Sheltie I'd had in my life. It's like, it's a vitamin E deficiency. So go to the grocery store, buy yourself 1,000 milligrams of vitamin E. He goes, give the dog vitamin E for 3 months. Sure as shit, I gave the dog vitamin A. The hair all grew back, and she lived to be 14 years, 1 month, and 1 day old. So, yeah. Doctors don't know everything. Some will admit it. Some have a God complex, even dog doctors. But I like the vets we have. They're good. So, whoops. I just shot to the bottom. Let's see if I can get back to where I was. Okay, computer, stop arguing with me. Okay, back as far as I can get. Von Mousetrap, pinball this morning, he used the word Amish bucks. I laughed a little too hard. Thanks for the laughter. And he may have been, and if you have any more of those Amish bucks, they may be worth more than our money. Yeah, no kidding. I don't know. It just comes out of my mouth sometimes. It's like, okay, what's just, sometimes, I've always found this throughout my career and everything. The way you get people to remember things sometimes is by saying something that's utterly ridiculous, and that's what they'll remember. Because if you just say it, and when you're telling, I did this in business all the time. I just go through the normal story, and people just tune you out. Whatever it is. But you pop in something that's silly or would never happen, and you're like, huh? What was that? Because they catch that part. I don't know. Just worked well as an interrogator too. A Goss, what food do you feed? We feed a very high-end, high-quality senior dog food. Weight formula, because Copper's blind, so he can't run around, so we need to keep him on a diet. So yeah, no chicken in it. It is an all natural, but it cost me $80 a bag. Yeah. So, Mother Clucker, Cushing test is expensive and all day stay. I know. I know. Yeah. Other things that I need to do will get postponed in the budget. Copper will get taken care of. Jamie says, how old is Copper? He will be 11 in December. Catgirl 66, Mrs. P will take good care of Copper. You have no idea. Copper is her baby, okay? And, I mean, she'd give her left leg before anything happened to Copper. Cajun Red, totally agree about pups and pets. Good, thank you. Investor saying prayers for the puppy, thank you. Dawn Hill, it's been a year yesterday when I lost my dog. I'm still heartbroken. I think about mine all the time. I mean, we've got them, they're all cremated, and they have both my dogs and Mrs. P's cat are all in a place of honor in the living room. So my will says that my dogs and Daphne will get buried with me, and Mrs. P has Copper and Marfa, who is the cat, will get buried with her. So, Judy Higdon, pinball, I have a chance to buy 20 silver $half for $675. Okay, so that's $10 face, which means I got to do the math here, so bear with me a second. So if you're talking $10 face, that is equals 10 divided by $1.40. That is 7.14285 ounces. And silver closed today. Silver closed today at $24.95. This isn't sounding anywhere close to right. Where was I? What is that? And 16. So I'm not doing something right. You got 20 $half. So you got $10 face of silver, which means you got 7 ounces of silver. No, that's an atrocious. You're getting less than $200 worth of silver. I mean, for 675 bucks right now, you should be buying 20 to 25 ounces of silver. I mean, you could buy 20 silver rounds for that amount of money, for less than that amount of money. No, that's an atrocious price. I wouldn't touch that at all. If it was $275, then it'd be more fair. Let's see. RLH, hey Pinball, have I ever made V8 juice? No, I haven't. I mean, I don't. I don't grow everything. I mean, what is it? It's tomatoes, celery, carrots, beets. I forget what the other four are. Uh, we've got a juicer. I can juice it. Speaking of, we got our first two muscadines off my muscadine vines today. They were actually really good. So that was kind of nice. That was why I got the juicer, so I can make juice out of the muscadines. Somebody was asking about making wine. Yes, that's the other thing to do. But no, I've never made V8 juice. Kevin Little, how's the home brewing going? Any new beers? I haven't made any in a few months now. Every once in a while, I think it's like, I'm going to do that today, and then I get involved in something else. I mean, I was just in my room the other day where I've got some of my supplies. I'm like, oh, okay, I've still got this, Of course, as usual, I forget to make the Oktoberfest beer for October, for September. But I've got a Bavarian Weiss beer that I'll make for Christmas. I've got to remember that. So, because it takes 6 weeks to make the beer, guys. So I figure I've got to have that made somewhere around by Halloween, so, for Christmas. Let's see. Vicky Savage, for what it's worth, start buying seeds for next year's planting. Depending on where you are, probably you're pretty close because you're now getting into the harvest season, and so not only are the farms harvesting vegetables, but the seed farms are harvesting the vegetables they're growing for seed. So yeah, you're probably going to start seeing next year's seeds start coming out here pretty soon. So yeah, if you're up north, better chance to get them down south. We're still in the midst of growing season down here. Dawn Hill, any good sites for egg layer feed recipes just in case? That's some. I'm hoping somebody else got an answer for you there. I have no idea on that one. It's a good question too. Forest Ghost Preparedness, Evening Pinball. Will I ever get chickens? If I can hide them, maybe. Let's put it this way: if the world goes to shit, yes, okay. But like I've said many times before, I am in a area where because of the proximity to the lake, I am not allowed to have livestock. Okay, chickens or anything. I could probably get away with rabbits, as I've said before. I just don't have them. But I can't have chickens on my property. The next property up the hill can, but I can't. So that's something to do with how close we are to the lake and watershed and all this sort of stuff. So don't ask me. Like I've said a million times, it makes no sense to me. They got to draw the line somewhere. Nobody cares that I use horse manure in my gardens because, there's no watershed from that. But, God knows you couldn't have chickens. As long as there are still laws, I will follow them. When there aren't any laws, all bets are off. Judy Boer, do not add salt to canned beets. It makes them bleed out worse and they go pale. I don't remember if we added salt or not. I don't think so. I think it was just straight in water. But good tip, good to know. Bass Ackward University. You've been talking to Mountaintop Preps? Have I ever been in the witness protection program? No. I told you guys the story when we moved here and pulled in. We had Nevada plates on and everything like that, and none of the neighbors knew us. And the story around here was that we're in the witness protection program till they met us and realized that wasn't the truth. So, because I don't quite look like I'm going to be some gangster out of Las Vegas or whatever, but yeah. But that was what they told me that the rumor running around was, or the people thought, at least. Maybe it was just as a joke, but who knows. Acushnet Prepper, when you drop a lobster in boiling water, they turn red. True, they are green when you get them. They turn red when you put them in boiling water. Ed Kirkpatrick, do I remember years ago they dyed pistachios red to help them sell? Yes, I remember that a long time ago. It was like Christmas time. You'd have pistachios around in the shell and they were all red. Now you go to the store, it's like, why are they white? Why aren't they red? All it was food dye. You know, again, trying to make it more visually appealing to you. Lisa Foster, hi. Can I turn up my mic? No, I have no ability to it. So you're going to have to turn up your volume. That's the way it is. This is the volume of the mic. Jennifer Perry, is there anything I can plant now for a spring harvest? Just asking from New Jersey. Depending on, I know a lot of Jersey is zone 6, which is the same zone I am. And I know that's really goofy. It's like Jersey's a lot further north, but the zones kind of go like this up the coast. Depending on how much snow you get, it's getting probably for a spring harvest. I mean, the only thing you're looking for is alliums, your garlic or your onions, and you're probably, probably too early, and I don't know. It depends on where in Jersey you are too. Okay. I've never lived there. I've never gardened in Jersey, so I can't tell you. I'll give you an idea though. Go watch a channel called, I think it's the Gardening Channel with James Prigioni. He's in Jersey. He has a beautiful garden. So he's going to be a lot more along what's going to grow in your area, your sandy soil, that sort of stuff. Sarah say, young lady had her Bank of America card get jammed in an ATM. She lost her mind. These kids are in trouble for sure. Oh, yeah. I saw something today where, again, down in Tennessee, because we've got those two idiot legislators, was it Pearson and Jones, accusing, because, they keep running their mouth and doing stuff that they shouldn't do on the floor. And so now the speaker has basically told them, you don't get any time to speak today. I mean, they're getting censored on the floor. And of course, they're bitching about it because it's not the freaking Oprah show, okay? It's, it's the state house. It's the state house, okay? And these guys think it's, their personal podium to do whatever they want. It's not. And so one of them was up there saying today, Gen X is going to save the country. We're the only ones that understand what's going on. I'm going, you guys can't figure out which bathroom to use, what gender you are. The best job you've ever had is, working at Starbucks, and you still live in mom's basement. Really, tell me how, you are the future of this country. If Gen X is Gen Z. If Gen Z is the future of this country, kiss it all goodbye right now, guys, because we're done. All right, we're going to need a new generation after them, and anybody in any sort of leadership position. I don't care if it's political. I don't care if it's business. I don't care if it's the guy running the 7-Eleven down the street. Okay, he better not be a Gen Z Indian. But I mean, Gen Z is going to go down as the stupidest group of people the United States has ever produced. Collectively, there were probably a few that are smart, but 98% of them are dumb as a box of rocks and, couldn't figure out how to get out of a wet paper bag. So yeah, like you said, young lady, guaranteed Gen Z. Tony Lawrence, Pinball, Manchin, moderate compared to the other liberal, or compared to the other Democrats. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. D. Van Eck, on October 4th, are we to comply with the go home, stay home order? I don't think there's going to be one. They're going to do a test. But if they come up with one of these go home, stay home, do whatever things, I mean, I don't care what they say. They can say wear a mask. They can say take the arm ticket. They can say you can't go into this. You can't leave your house. You can't drive down the street. And my answer is going to be this. And if a cop pulls me over, I'm going to be, here's this and here's my license. No, I will not comply. I'm sorry. Period. Done. I'm not, nothing. I absolutely 100% refuse. There is nothing there going to tell me that I will do. If a store owner says, I'm sorry, sir, you can't come in without a face diaper on, I'll be like, I will never come in the store again. And I will make sure that everybody, all 103,000 of you, know exactly what store I got told I couldn't go into. You know, this is the thing. You know, I will get loud. You know I can. You know, so. Silver Graham, is there a problem with copper's immune system? That's what I think. Okay. Because we had him on a shot, and for the life of me, I can never remember what this thing was called. It was expensive too. It was once a month shot. It was $160 for his thing, and it worked for about a year. And even the shot says that, you know, eventually the dog gets used to it, but it suppressed, or did something to his immune system or whatever it was, boosted it or something like that. But eventually the dog gets used to it, and that was it. So that's what I think it is, but I'm not a doctor. I don't pretend to be one. I will get a second opinion, but I'm not going into somebody who's a doctor and saying, no, you're wrong, I'm right. I'll ask a million questions, and they'll answer every question I have until I'm satisfied, and then I'll make a decision. But I'm not going to tell them what to do. And yes, before somebody says, well, Dr. Fauci, and you won't do this. Okay, I'd ask a million questions like I did, and I'd come to the determination that he was full of shit. Simple as that. Jennifer Perry, check the well water. My pupper got sick after drinking well water. See, this is where we have this advantage, okay? Because he had this condition when we were in Vegas. So Vegas, we were on city water. Here we're on well water, so we know it's not that. We know it's nothing in the grass because he had it in Vegas, and in Vegas you don't have a lawn, you've got AstroTurf, okay? So we know it's not that. So we can rule some of the things out just because in two totally different climates, he's had the same problem. JS, so sorry to hear Copper is having a rough time of it. Glad he has you to care for him. He is such a sweet dog. He is such a great dog. And just the sad little puppy dog eyes and the big smile on his face. You know what a corgi smile looks like. And, it's just, he is a happy dog. He's just, poor me. And I feel bad for him. He's had a tough life before, like I told you, he was a rescue, and they wanted to put him down, and he was with two families before, and nobody, one beat him, we think. And, he's finally got a loving home, and now he's got the medical problems and he's blind. If there's a dog that when he goes up to heaven gets to cross that rainbow bridge and gets an extra dog treat, it's him. Rock 600-601, did they test the pup for Bartonella? I've never heard that. I will copy that real quick. I'm going to look that up after we're done here. I've never heard of it, so we'll see what it is. But thank you for an idea to research. Corey, do I think enough Hawaiians are now politically awake to eventually turn Hawaii red? No, because Hawaii, what did Hawaii vote? 3/4 of the state voted for Biden. It's going to take a lot to, there's still plenty of them there that have their heads so far up their posterior, it's unbelievable. It's like, oh, well, Joe did this, and Joe sent you poisoned water, okay? Hungary, the country, has sent more supplies to Hawaii than the U.S. government. Just give you that. Think about that for a second. A former Eastern Bloc country has sent more aid to the people of Hawaii, than the U.S. government has, okay? Those people voted for Biden. Look what you got in return. But you know what? They'll vote Democrat again because the Democrats have our best interest in mind. Right, by sending you poisoned water or putting up roadblocks so you can't get out so your kids can get burned to death. Yeah, those are Democrat policies. Look at your governor. You know, what's he doing? Lying day to day. He's trying to steal your land. But hey, vote for him again because he's got your best interests in mind. Uh, Oops, shut to the bottom again. Guys, I'm sorry if you are having problems hearing. It's got to be on your end because there's uh, the same camera I've used since the beginning of the channel, and the same camera I use for my videos and everything. So, you know, I'm sorry if you got to turn up the volume on your TV or on your phone or whatever. There's nothing I can do about it. Prep Rebel, have I tried adding olive oil to Copper's food? Actually, we've been using fish oil because I think that will help his uh, skin a little bit better. Haven't heard about it using olive oil, but I mean, it couldn't hurt, right? The only problem is the fats in the oil, and a dog that can't get exercise to speak of. Lisa Baker, do we turn our phones off on October 4th? Uh, I don't know if this is conspiracy or whatever. I'm just, you know me, better safe than sorry. Yeah, I'm going to turn mine off for, those couple hours in the afternoon because I've heard stories that this is going to be where they're going to try to upload something to everybody's phone. Okay. If that's what they're going to try, then I'll make sure that my phone's off. It could be something that as soon as you turn your phone on, it uploads anyway. I don't know. But the other reason is I don't want to hear that freaking annoying tone. And, every time you get an Amber Alert, it's always when I'm driving, and it's like beep, beep. It's like, okay, what the hell happened? Did Joe take us a nuclear war? And so I'm digging for my phone as I'm driving down the road. Oh, some other idiot, liberal idiot kidnapped a kid. Okay, just ugh. TJ and GA, riding through my town east of Atlanta, all the signs of crystals read, we are now cashless. Guess what, crystals? I think your food sucks anyway, but guaranteed you'll never see me again if you're going all cashless. Sorry, won't be happening. And, oh, yeah, I mean, this is when you want to go up in the drive through, you put in like a $30 order and go up and give them like a 20 and a 10 and go, oh, I'm sorry, we don't take cash anymore. Oh, I'm sorry, then I don't eat here and just drive away. Oh, did you just waste a bunch of food and time? Doesn't that suck for you? This note is legal tender for all debts, public and private. Take a look at that sometime. Squash bugs, help. Cows are my therapy. Put aluminum foil around the very base of the squash plant. That's where they're getting in. It might be too late because if you've got the bugs all over the place, it means you've already laid the eggs. The eggs are already in the plant. So that means you might as well just pull the plant. The plants are toast. When you plant squash, as soon as they start coming up, if you've got squash bug problems, put aluminum foil right at the base, about 3 inches high. That'll solve your problems. Because that's where the mother goes in to lay the eggs. There you go. Last Boy Scout, a roll of silver $50 retails for about $2.25 right now. Yeah, that's it. $6.75 was highway robbery. So, Lisa Baker, Paul, my dog, had pancreatitis too, and she's diabetic. $6,000 for a 2-day stay in the ER. Please don't. Please, I hope it's not that. That ain't coming. That would break the bank. Let's see. Joe Shinpaw, Pinball, have I heard of coin shops closing? Is that so you don't buy silver? Well, I did the video, was it yesterday, on being debanked and talking about all the coin shops that are being debanked. Coin shops closing basically because if they don't have a bank, they really can't do business. The other thing is it's getting harder and harder and harder for them to keep inventory because everybody and their mother with a brain is buying gold and silver. So it's harder and harder for them to make money. Plus, I mean, not that we've seen that much volatility in the price lately, uh, but remember how, they make a profit on the premiums. If silver's right now roughly 25 an ounce, and they're going to sell it for say 27.50. Let's just say it's a 10% premium. I know it's not, but for math's sake, if they're going to buy it from you, they're going to probably give you 22.50. So they're going to make the money on that spread, the buy to sell. But they're also taking the risk on the value of the silver, because if they give you 22.50 for it, and then the price of silver drops to 20, and somebody wants to buy it, they're only going to charge, if it's still the same $10 premium or 10% premium, they're only going to charge 22, and now they broke even on that piece of silver. Even though there is a premium on it, they still broke even. And business needs to make money to stay in business. Bacon. I just bought 45 ounces of buffalo silver rounds for 25 an ounce, 1,100 bucks 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I mean that would be about right. Yeah, I don't think you got a bad price. I mean, you got the normal price for it, but yeah, 675 bucks for a roll of $half. No. Letta Gay Magnuson. I have a huge pot of strawberries, very healthy looking. Not one berry has been seen. What's up with that? Do you have, well, there's two kinds of strawberries, remember. So either you have June bearing strawberries, which aren't going to produce anymore. I mean, my strawberry patch looks beautiful right now. I mean, no strawberries on it because they're June bearing strawberries. I got them all in May. Okay. If you got ever bearing, then you'd still have some strawberries on it. But my guess is you probably have a pot of June bearing strawberries, and that's why you're not getting any. Gigi, I live on the lake and have chickens. I'm just telling you what the rules are around here. So, I mean, it could be different everywhere. Judy, it'd be hard to hide me. No kidding. Rip Curl. Hey, I haven't seen you in ages, buddy. What's up? Will you follow the law if it is tyrannical or unconstitutional? No, it's not going to happen. Take me to court. Great. I mean, and trying to think of something, besides the Second Amendment, that I can't say something in public or whatever, or I want to practice my religion or where. Tell me I can't do that. No, arrest me, take me to court, and I will drag you through court like crazy and make you look like a fool. Go, okay, you either tell me that the Constitution no longer exists in this country and I'm guilty, or you let me go. And, I'll call them to the carpet. You tell me exactly what you can't tell me that violating my constitutional rights is legal, because that is the supreme law of the land. The end. There is no, well, it's ambiguous. No, it is the supreme law of the land. It is exactly what it is, word for word. It was written in the words it was written in to be slightly ambiguous. It wasn't written to be black and white. That's the point of it. Renee Swarth, any luck with carrots this year? Like I said earlier, they were better than what I've had before, but they were still thin. I mean, at best, some of my best ones are maybe an inch around and, 9 or 10 inches long. So the length was fine. The girth wasn't what I needed. JB Shaper, has my vet considered vestibular disease? No, I don't know. That doesn't, I'll look that one up too for my research on this. Hang on, let me copy and open up yet another window on the computer to look at later. We'll see if the symptoms match because I know we looked at Addison's disease. That wasn't it. I was looking for diseases that have hair loss and disorientation, and that's where I came up with Cushing's and Addison's. And with Addison's test was fine because his electrolytes were good. The Cushing's test is something totally different. Amy K, restart the stream if you're having problems, or turn your volume up. There you go. Mountaintop Reps, I caught that one. For everyone's information, we started the rumor that I was in witness protection. That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah. I got my choice in friends, guys. I don't know. Somebody really messed with my brain. Yeah, there you go. Brenda H. Gen Zers can't even close an umbrella. Ain't that the truth? They wouldn't know when to use one. Janine Dash, New Jersey has zone 6A in the south and 6B in the north. I'm north, but James Persioli is south 6A, but still close. Yeah, it's going to be close enough. You're going to get the same idea. Sea Dog 357, my rants on the new generation are hilarious and spot on. It's just the truth. My observations of reality. Yeah, all the American Girls, they're spot on. It's all the Tide Pods that they ate. I mean, that's about it. So they got brain damage, but you got to have a brain. Cytopoint, there it is. A Krista Cat got it. That was the shot we had him on. That worked for about a year. I can't, every time we got Mrs. P and I have a conversation, it's like, what the hell was the name of that stuff? So I can't remember. Kathleen Maddox, calm down. We get giddy when you're rowdy. God. Yarn Prepper, I'm too tall to be messed with. Yeah, I'm not a small guy. 6'8", 300 pounds is not exactly what you call. Gee, you know what? He's a pushover. I still laugh when you get these guys. I'd take you. Come on, try. You may be 20 years younger than me. Good luck, okay? Maybe you may be faster than me, but God help you if I get you on the ground, because you ain't moving. Let's see. Did I use Cytopoint? Yes, we did. Okay. Valerie Walker, probiotic treats for the dogs, maybe. We've tried that. Didn't work. Okay. My GSD, I'm assuming that's an abbreviation for a dog somewhere, is almost 9, getting slow. I added cooked meat, beef and chicken, and veggies. They get some as a treat, but we stick to it's bison and salmon dog food, and again, it's the healthy weight stuff. Because you got to remember, having 2 dogs, okay, and Daphne runs around like she's a border collie. She runs around like a chicken with her head cut off, so she needs the energy. Copper doesn't, and it's all how dogs are. It's like, you give them the exact same food. Oh, what's in the other one's bowl is what I want. They're like little kids. So we've always got to watch that too. Like-minded says Aliquil injection. Okay, I will look and see what that is. These are all ideas I can ask for to the doctor and say, okay, what's the story on this? What's the story on that? Because, she spent a half an hour answering my questions yesterday. I got to give her all the credit in the world. It's the first time we had seen her in the practice, and I guess she's been at the practice for about a year. It's the first time we've seen her, and I liked her, so I was pretty happy. Not that I didn't like the other doctor too. He was great. Let's see. Did the Germans wake up to vote out Hitler? I'm not worried about voting out. See, this is the thing I have this wonderment about. Are they trying to get rid of both? Get rid of Biden and get rid of Trump, and just say, you know what? We're just going to hand over the entire country to Klaus Schwab. Right? Okay. I don't know. There's more to what's going on than any of us can fathom. I will tell you this. Whatever we think we know, there's still 2 steps in front of us. Okay. And every once in a while, we just got to pay attention to when they stick their foot in their mouth and, say the quiet part out loud, and then go, oh, we heard that. So, okay, moving on down. We're still there. Ed, thank you for the super chat. The Christmas will be here before you know it. Yeah, tell me about it. It's like Labor Day. We got a long weekend coming up, guys. This is it. Summer's the unofficial end of summer is here. Labor Day. Okay. D Van Eyck, where did I get the Trump hat? I saw an ad for it online. Oh God, this has got to be a year, maybe even two ago that I got it. So I, it was, it was just one of the sidebar ads that popped up on a website I was on. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get that. You know, because I also got the Trump flag that flies out in front of my house that says "Make votes count again." You know, haven't seen that one anywhere else, but yes. Kitsy Witty, yes, use a Faraday bag for your electronics. Uh, I don't think for fourth we need that, but for, you know, again, I'm not going to tell you that they don't work. I'm not going to tell you they do work. You know, I've got an EMP shield. I don't know if it's going to work, but like I said, I know not having it guarantees I have nothing. Having it means at least if it works, I have something. If it doesn't, okay, the only thing I'm out is a prep. It's like an insurance policy, is the way I look at it. I pay for my insurance every month. I don't make a claim. I haven't made a claim on insurance in probably 20 years, but you know, we keep paying the bill. You know, insurance company loves me. It's like all they do is take money from me. Uh, Jennifer Pari says turmeric for the pup and everyone. Okay, I don't know what that would do for the dog. I'm thinking we're a little past that, but we'll see. Uh, Gardening Grandma might reach out to Patera about your dog. That's not a bad idea. Blessed Girl, KFC, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, all yum companies going cashless. Well, see, KFC is so ridiculously expensive. Uh, I haven't eaten there in years. Taco Bell, I probably haven't eaten at least five because you can't get out of Taco Bell for under 12 or $13 a person. I go sit down and get a decent meal rather than eating that crap. And Pizza Hut, I worked at Pizza Hut 30 years ago, and Pizza Hut pizza makes me sick. So yeah, you know, I want pizza. I'll go to Papa John's. Let's see. Dogman, pinball. Dogs are not known to get CWD. I don't know what CWD is. The deer disease. You're most likely to have deer drink from your pond, so your pup may have come in contact. You might want to look into it. Again, this I go with the same thing I said earlier. We lived in a subdivision in Las Vegas, okay, with plastic grass and cinder block walls. And you guys that live out in Vegas know what North Las Vegas house looks like. You know, it's like ninth of an acre, 6 foot high, you know, 5.5 foot high concrete block walls as a fence, and that's it. There were no deer. So he had the problems there. So that's what I'm saying. We have a big advantage that we live in two completely different climates and we still have the same problem. So we can eliminate most of the natural stuff that's out here. Because I mean, we got clay soil here. Vegas is all sand, you know, so you know, that it's something else. You know, I mean, if we get past the Cushing's disease, the next step is to go to a doggy dermatologist and have him tested for allergies. Because, I mean, for all we know, it's the laundry detergent we use. I mean, it could be anything. So, you know, that's what we're trying to figure out. But we'll get there. Kitsy Witty, have I seen any cashless shopping in any stores in Tennessee? No, but then again, there aren't a whole lot of stores I go to. I mean, let's see. I was at Walmart Sunday morning, I think it was, to pick up some canning jars. Walmart's not cashless. We were at Pizza Inn with Mr. and Mrs. Mountaintop Preps the other day for Sunday for go get pizza, and they took a card. And it's probably been at least a couple of weeks before that since I've been in a store. It's been that long, I can't remember where I was the previous time. Grateful Preps, New Jersey. What reason was given for debanking the coin shops? That was funny. I linked the video for you guys to watch about the guy in Ohio. And he said he went into the bank and they wouldn't give him a reason, that it just came down from the corporate offices of the bank that they weren't interested in doing business with him anymore. Okay. And he said he doesn't have any legal problems. He doesn't have any tax problems, anything, everything was all on the up and up. He'd been doing business with the bank for so long, and they shut down his account, his wife's account, his kid's account, his business account, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, it's kind of like Mike Lindell. We don't like your politics. This is what's going on, and it's going to be subtle. Oh, that kind of business can put our globalist thought, our globalist system in trouble. Let's get rid of it. Oh, those churches that are trying to help people. You guys were saying about your church group trying to send money to the Philippines or something. Now we're going to debank the church. Notice what they're going. They're not going after the sex toy shop. That the liberals love to go to. Those are fine, but the churches, the coin shops, those are the ones that are the threats to the bank. OnlyFans, hey, you can have all the bank accounts you want. Come on, that's where liberals are going for jobs right now. That and TikTok. So, who is it? The actress from The Sopranos has decided, that because the writers are on strike, she's just going to do an OnlyFans account now. Okay, you know what? I'll stoop that low. I have that little talent in life that, if I can't read the line somebody else had to write for me and pretend to be somebody else, I'll just go get naked on camera and try to make a living that way, because I'm such a value to society. Brenda Hall McDonald, need a QR code to park on the street in some parts of Nashville. That's why the rest of the state calls it Trashville. Okay. I mean, when country music moves out of Nashville, but so much country music has gone woke. Come on. I mean, when John Rich, Big and Rich, when his record label cancels him because of his conservative views, come on. Okay. That's why country music is dying. Anything a liberal touches turns to shit. That's it. Okay. And they're going to destroy, some of the great accomplishments that the U.S. has had in history. So Bud Light, Disney, Target, country music, all of Hollywood, gee, those are some staples in American lore, and all of them are getting crushed by wokeism. Corey Tatro, Crystal failed in Texas years ago, Whataburger. We went, you got to remember, I lived up north, okay, and we had White Castle. And White Castle was fine when, White Castle was always good back when I was in high school, and, you still had the fake IDs and you could go out and buy a six-pack or whatever. And White Castle was great when we'd, get a couple of six-packs of beer, maybe a bottle of Boone's Farm or whatever it was, and then we wanted something to eat. It's like, okay, and, high school kid, and White Castle, sliders were a dime. And, it's like, okay, we got $2 left, and good, we go get 20 burgers, and it'd feed 4 of us. I got down, I lived in Texas, loved Whataburger, no problem. Lived out west, In-N-Out Burger is still better than Whataburger. Sorry, In-N-Out Burger for a fast food burger is the best. Move out here, there's no In-N-Out Burger, there's no Whataburger, okay? Actually had a Whataburger when we went to Nashville last time. Not going to Nashville, that was where we had to catch a plane, okay? And it was like, oh, there's a Whataburger in Nashville, we're gonna go eat there. It wasn't the same as I remembered it 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But we got Crystal here. Went once, I'm like, never again. This food sucks. So, yeah. I know, some people love it, that's it, okay? But no. Considering the other fast food burgers I've had in my life, Crystal is garbage. So why it failed in Texas doesn't surprise me. Let's see. Yeah, Terry Halligan, don't forget. Oh my God, it's 9:05. Well, I'm going long today. Don't forget, mandates aren't law. And that's what I get. Didn't even look at the clock. It's already been an hour and 5 minutes. All right. Well, that was quick. So All right, guys, I'm out of here. Jason, I'm sorry I really dug into your time if you're going on tonight. So, all right, y'all, have a good one. We'll see you in the morning. Pinball out.